Three. Happy birthday to you.
You very
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sage. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, wait. Do it again. You're
She
too
was
fast.
like,
Okay, do it again. Act like you're blowing.
tornado coming out of her mouth.
The wind bag.
Sorry, Mike. Bend over and act like you're blowing. You did it so fast they didn't even get it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Candles.
Oh, wait. Rosario, we have your hand now. Okay, one more.
Here we go.
Sorry. Oh. That doesn't work.
Hey, Sage. So on the invitations that I sent out to everybody, I told everybody they had to bring a special memory story about you.
Oh, a funny story.
Yeah. So
I haven't typed mine up.
And when
I
I
don't type it up.
Type it up?
Well, we thought you were.
when I sent out notifications
Oh, I
for
did.
presents,
My
I said everybody had to bring some.
What's she doing, Mom? I think it eats more to see.
that too.
Here, hold this. Tara.
So,
Will you
a young child, and there was this dog named Puppy. And this dog named Puppy had absurdly large, bulbous eyes that looked like shiny, wet gumballs. And Sage always wanted to poke them. And so she would see Puppy and she would giggle and run after the puppy with her fingers. And poke the dog right in the eye.
Nice.
And then it started biting her for some unknown reason.
So we had to give it away.
Wonder why.
What, gave Sage away?
We're so glad Josh moved home to make us laugh. What is it?
Oh, look, it does. Good choice.
Cute.
There's more.
We had a lot of fun, so.
That's so cute.
So Lincoln helped pick some out too. There's some people
Oh, nice.
that you like. So.
Way to go, big guy.
Whoa.
Very cool.
Wow.
Let me know when you don't wear that. I'll wear it.
I know you will too.
That's cool. I like that.
That is
The
awesome.
beads there, honey.
Let's see. Hold them up, see.
That'll look cute with like a plain black shirt.
Yes.
you.
Except me, because we had made Mike.
Oh, yeah.
We had made Mike and Rosario tool belts. The baby tool with the bottles and everything. And she had helped make it, helped me put them together. And she could not wait for him to open that. And she was just absolutely out of control laughing. And nobody, there's what, 14, 16 people there that had no
We
clue
just all thought she was
why.
having issues.
They thought she was having an attack on the floor, which she was. Yeah,
That earring was those like rocks that had
The planetarium.
Say hi, Grandpa.
Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Grandpa.
You had this box. If you opened it up, the spider jumped out at you.
Oh.
Yeah. Sage about had a heart attack and went
tried
around
it
and
on
tormented
everybody
all of her cousins and stuff.
Wait, I tormented them?
After you figured out it wasn't scary. Yeah.
Nothing's changed about that. No, nothing's changed. You're just taller. Yeah. Great. Rosario, listen.
Two stories, actually. There was a period in Sage's life when she lived with us in the house. And she went through a phase where Devery would take her and put her to bed. About 5 minutes later, around the corner would be Sage's head poking. And
Sounds like someone else.
I learned that if I would just scowl at her a little bit, she would burst into tears and run back into her room without having to say a word.
Sitting Grandma. It worked.
Now I know what to do.
Looked like it worked like a charm.
It did, and then I was sitting at dinner with the family one night, and Sage was sitting directly across from me. She had a big mouthful of food, and totally unprovoked, she goes like this. with a tongue full of food. And so
Like you did.
I did it back to her. And the tradition carried on for probably several years. Where Sage is still going. Did you? Yes, that's true. That's true. Those are my stories about Sage.
I'll tell a goofy story while she looks at that. We had some raccoons that decided to live in our fireplace. And they were very clever, and they would crawl down in, and we couldn't get them out till we moved. It was awful. But she would walk around, and the minute they'd move, she'd jump about 6 inches off the ground. And then when they were gone, she's like, "You killed the raccoons."
She didn't want them there, but she didn't want you to kill
Yeah.
them either.
Yeah.
Let's see, sis.
Very, very soft.
Spoken. Okay.
She got to go to New York, and it was right after 9/11. And we had a cab driver who just drove us around for almost nothing and took us to all the spots that he thought were interesting. And she got there in time that they let her walk up. She and Deborah, it was closed. We could get a ticket. But they looked at me and Deborah
That's cute, sis.
and Sage, and they let Deborah and Sage go. They told me to stay behind
Let you go where?
to go
Ground
sign
zero.
the flag right in the middle of Ground
Oh.
Zero.
They
and
knew
that's-
about your cameras.
They knew about my cameras. Well, I gave them to your mother when she went, so.
Let's see, sis.
It's hopefully you
Can I borrow
can
that when I go to Phoenix?
keep your iPod and your phone safe so you don't lose
If
it.
I ever get them back.
So you don't lose them.
Well, it's up to you when you get them.
Yeah.
Hasn't had this.
Yes, you
Yeah.
bet. Well, you better figure out real quick. You'll
Figure
stay in
out
7th
to, or
grade
it's
for a
not
long
coming
time.
I know, and your mom just got out, so. Turn it over.
Pink, told you.
What is it?
There's no pink in this.
To add,
The string inside is
make her,
pink.
to add to her jewelry, things that she makes,
Blue.
the bracelet, beads, and
nice.
stones and stuff.
We need better lighting in here, dude.
I know that.
Any light over there.
Light in there. Which reminds me, I got up in my attic, I had to go get up there to make sure I had, before the end of the warranty, to make sure we had the right amount in there.
She's
I
just,
love
Front of it.
Of insulation, yeah. I got
how much I had up in mine.
12, 14 inches up.
Oh,
in
it's just
there.
unzipped, I'm sorry.
That's a
That's what you're
sweatshirt.
supposed to have.
Oh, it's cute. It's cute.
Oh, no, yeah, I know how much you have.
Thank you.
But I had to cross from one end of the house.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you
Oh,
have
I've
plenty.
got plenty. So my question is can I tell about the bathtub story?
Oh gosh, please no. No.
Do it, do it, do it. Absolutely, share.
No.
Because
Oh,
I've
hey,
got
this
two
still
good
has
ones. I've got the
Jesus.
bathtub story,
No.
and then you guys know the Moab story, but the bathtub
What's the
story.
Moab story?
Oh my gosh! Let me just tell you. So it was shortly after we had gotten married, and Deborah she called me and she said, "Hey, I'm running late. Can you hurry up and throw Sage in the bathtub for me so that when I get there, she's ready to go?" And I was like, "Sure." I think she was 4, or maybe
My
even
defense, I was
5.
4.
Um,
I was 5.
You were this age. You gotta get.
And so I got the bathtub all water all ready, and as I was closing the door, I said, "Sage, I says, go ahead and get your clothes off, honey." I says, "Hop in there," and I says, "Start washing," and I would just keep my ear real close to the door and listen to her. So I go this morning at the little White House. So I go into the kitchen real quick, and as I start to come back, I hear her go, "Dad!" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Can you come here for a minute?" And Deborah had these the little like massage gloves that you put on, you can scrub your face with and stuff like that. Okay.
exfoliating.
Yeah.
It just gets worse,
Cute
Tara.
thing.
Sage sitting in the bathtub, and she goes, "Hurry, come here, look at this." She had put them on her feet, and as soon as I walked in, she goes, "Look at this!" I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Oh no!" So I go, "Okay, time to get out now." And I get her wrapped up in a towel, and I called her and said, "You have no idea what just happened." And so I told Deborah on the phone. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry." And Deborah didn't say, "Is Sage is okay?" She goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'll be fine."
Flashed by a 5-year-old, huh?
Flashed by a 5-year-old.
Up to, what was that?
What was it,
peak
that
we made up
list?
to?
Klondike Bluffs.
Yeah, we were on the Klondike Bluffs trail. She actually made all the way up to the peak, and the peak wasn't massive, but when you got up there, it was steep. Like it was probably what 200 yards, and it went up pretty steep.
Yeah.
Sage made it all the way up. We were like, "Hey, check that out! Good job, kid!" And on the way down, we just told her to say, "All right, take it easy." And I think I was down. Trace and I were down at the bottom, just before the climb.
I was at those Sage.
Did you and Sage were the only two that made it all the way up?
Seth was down there too, remember?
Was it Seth?
Seth was
Okay.
with you guys. That was
And Sage starts coming off the top, coming back down, and you know there's a path to follow, but you know when you're new at it. And she started going down it, and instead of pulling the back brake, she pulled the front brake and went head and landed. Literally, the bike landed on her, and she landed on her head.
scars.
Thank God she had a helmet, because when she hit the ground and the rest of her hit, I was like, and so there I am. I just start running fast and as hard as I could, and Deborah's right there. And there were other riders like right next to her up there on the top, and everybody jumped off their bikes and got to her, and she was just bawling, but she ripped her knees all apart and everything like that. But she took a nice hard smack to the head.
That's what I've been eating lately.
So that's how she got the name. When we're in Moab, that's how she got the name First Aid Sage.
First
aid.
And then Grandma Sherry's checking. Everybody's saying to Sage before we leave the house, "Did you get the first aid kit?" And that's how she got the name.
Yeah, we're all like, because we're so afraid.
That she's
We didn't want to go do it again.
You guys are so mean.
Trace is a lizard killer.
I actually did that same thing when I went mountain biking for the first time.
Ew, Sage, you're gonna be all decked out.
You use the front brakes, it's like disaster.
Your blue beads will
That's
do.
just
I was on a date.
Things are looking alright today. Sun is shining, I'm feeling okay. My chin is up and my spirit's high. I'm pretty sure that I could fly. So I sing la dee da dee da, and I sing la dee da dee da. And I sing la dee da dee da. Things are finally right for me. The sun is shining, I'm feeling free. My heart is whole, I can finally breathe. The horizon I can see. So I sing la dee da dee da, and I sing la dee da dee da, and I sing la dee da dee da.
not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. 'Cause they fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. 'Cause I'd get 1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they tried to teach me how to dance. A foxtrot above my head, a sock hop beneath my bed. A disco ball is just hanging by a thread. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. Leave my door open just a crack. Please take me away from here, 'cause I feel like such an insomniac. Please take me away from here. Why do I tire of counting sheep? Please take me away from here, when I'm far too tired to fall asleep. To 10 million fireflies, I'm weird 'cause I hate goodbyes. I got misty eyes as they said farewell, but I'll know where several are if my dreams get real bizarre, 'cause I saved a few and I keep them in a jar. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, because my dreams are bursting at the seams.